Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite things, fall essentials. I like to do this at the start of every single season where I go into my wardrobe and I take stock and I make sure that I have my essentials covered before I get swayed by any of the pretty trends or the sparkly pieces that come throughout the season. It's just so easy to use up the entire budget on very fun pieces and then be left without the staples that actually make those pieces work. So we are going to get into all of the essentials, and I have kind of divided this video up into three parts. The first one is going to be the core pieces that I think that make up most or a lot of the autumn outfits. Really, they are pieces that are really worth updating, upgrading for autumn. It's definitely something I do. And then the second chunk is going to be outerwear pieces. I want to go over how I approach adding these layering pieces to my wardrobe and how I focus on the essentials. And then last, I'm going to go over the sort of autumn seasonal texture pieces that really can transform any sort of seasonless outfit into something that feels very much like autumn. So we are going to get straight into the pieces, and we are going to be starting with some beautiful cashmere knits, and I have been very kindly sent some gorgeous pieces from Lily Silk. I have been wearing their clothes for years. They just have such a beautiful quality. And if you don't know the company, first of all, you must be new here because I feature them a lot on my channel. But if you don't know them, they are a company that is creating primarily clothes in natural materials, lots of silk, wool and cashmere, and they're focused on creating high quality pieces at a reasonable cost. And I picked out some wardrobe essentials that I needed to update in my own wardrobe. I will obviously link all of the pieces down below, and I also have a discount code with them that you can apply if you are checking out any of their items. So if you put in Sandra LS20, you will get 20% off your order, or Sandra LS25 if your order is above 430 euros. I think that's $480. You will get 25% off. And I think we'll just start with my absolute favorite category when it comes to any kind of fall wintry wardrobe. But as soon as fall rolls around, I absolutely love to pull out my cashmere knitwear. And when I tried cashmere, it was one of those things where I switched out from buying a lot of random knitwear, lots of like blends, some wool, some alpaca, and then I just started to pool my money and spend a little bit more and buy cashmere instead. I have not looked back. It is definitely one of the biggest and best wardrobe changes I have made. So I have two cashmere pieces. Shall we start with the lighter knit first? As you can see, this is a striped polo tee, and it is knitted obviously, so it's really soft and cozy, but it's super lightweight. This is such a timeless classic piece that still feels really modern. I absolutely love the look of it, and I love how this is going to transcend seasons because it's going to be perfect now for transitional weather. It's a short sleeve and it's super lightweight, so I just can't wait to wear this underneath blazers and trench coats, all of those classic autumn layers. However, because it is cashmere and a knit, I can't wait to wear this throughout winter even layered underneath a heavier knitwear. I just think this is going to be one of those go-to pieces for me. Just such a gorgeous piece with the quality that is made to last. As I mentioned, I like to invest in cashmere, and I try to add at least one piece every autumn season, and that way I have sort of slowly built up a high quality collection. I have several of the Lily Silk pieces already, and they haven't told me to say this, but I feel like their cashmere is the softest, most beautiful quality that I have in my wardrobe. It is so stunning. So I was super excited when I saw this jumper right here. So soft and cozy, a true essential for a full wardrobe, and I absolutely love all of the details. It has a dropped shoulder seam, and it has a sort of very relaxed v-neck, if I can say that, and a Chelsea style collar. It's a really elevated yet a little bit more laid back design. And because it is so timeless, this is going to stay in my wardrobe for years, barring my sister stealing it, which is a real concern here. I know I keep repeating myself, but as long as I stay with the more classic timeless silhouettes and colors, I have honestly never regretted buying a cashmere piece. We are going to move on to the next essential, and you know I love a monochromatic outfit. I saw these trousers, I saw they were perfect with the cashmere jumper, and I knew these two pieces had to be paired together. Either way, I think a pair of tailor tailored trousers is an absolute essential in my autumn wardrobe. And you might say, hey, that sounds like an essential all year round. And you would be right. However, I think updating your tailored trousers to something in a material that is really appropriate for the season is highly worth doing. Not only is it nicer to have a pair of tailored trousers in wool once the temperatures drop, I think the texture of it just looks a little bit more season appropriate as well. These are 90% wool and 10% mulberry silk, and that silk is really felt in how soft they feel, and they're not heavy at all. They have a really nice sort of medium weight to them. My absolute favorite detail, apart from the fabric composition and the quality of these trousers, look at the back. The partially elasticated waistband, I feel like I'm going to say this until my last day, but that is one of my favorite features on a pair of tailored trousers. It makes them so comfortable. Not only do they always fit nicely in the waist, but when you sit down at your desk, they don't dig into your stomach. They just stretch, they just fit to your body, and it's so comfortable. So I really love that you have that clean front and it still looks really minimal and just beautiful. Either way, I have these. I know I'm going to love them because I have a pair of tailored trousers that I got from Lily Silk last year. These white ones, these are in wool. I think they're a wool and silk blend as well. And I really like to get a pair of tailored trousers in a neutral shade. I like to have a couple, obviously, to sort of rotate through, and this is definitely my favorite find this season. And the next essential I have is a pair of trousers that look a little bit dressy but are super, super comfortable. Something that can be dressed up or down. And I saw these silk trousers from Lily Silk. Beautiful. I have been looking at these for so long. I think they are just so incredibly stunning. I think these are among their best sellers as well, and for good reason. These are made from a double-faced charmeuse silk, and I already have a skirt in this material, which is the most beautiful quality. And this one feels really nice and weighty and heavy, and it just is gorgeous. But when you wear it, it's still super breathable and just feels amazing against the skin. It's such a wonderful experience to wear this type of silk. So I knew I wanted to try these. They also have an elasticated waist, which makes them really, really comfortable. Super easy to just throw on, and you can wear this either, you can dress it up with a silk top, for example, or you can put some of the knitwear with it to dress it down, make it a little bit more casual. There's so many options for this. You can wear it with a simple plain t-shirt. It really is such a surprisingly versatile piece that I think you can wear from anything from going to work to going out for drinks after. It just is a fantastic piece. So thank you again so much to Lily Silk for sending over these gorgeous new additions to my wardrobe. They are stunning, and they definitely have a treasured place in my autumn wardrobe this year. Again, don't forget my code SandraLS20 or SandraLS25 for a discount on your order. The next autumn essential is one that I think is an essential all year round, but it's really key to update it for the fall season. I've talked about this before, I know, but it still bears repeating, I think. Adding a dark blue denim to an autumn wardrobe is just one of those things that instantly makes it feel more season appropriate. It just makes it feel a little bit darker, and it's such an elevated shade, I think. And if this is not something you have tried, if you think that a denim color has all to do with a taste and nothing to do with season, I would recommend you to try it out. I definitely feel that I can wear a lot of outfits that feel a little bit seasonless. They could belong to spring, they could belong to summer even. But if you have dark blue denim, it just feels like fall. That is just my feeling for it. So it's always just going to be an essential in my autumn wardrobe. This year, I have actually decided that I'm going to find the perfect denim jeans. I know, I might have jinxed myself just by saying that, but I really want to find some denim that just looks really, really good. So I have ordered a few pieces that I will be trying. Several of them are in this dark blue shade because I have these, and although I like them, I don't really love them. So they're an older pair and I wear them because it's the only one I have that fits really. I just want to be completely transparent, and this is one that I am updating. I'm not even just saying this is something you should have in your wardrobe. I am literally going to upgrade this myself because I just think it's really worth it. With that, we are through the core pieces. These are pieces that I personally want to just upgrade or update for autumn. However, we can't talk about fall without talking about outerwear. I think we're coming off of summer, and summer is also the season where we can't really rely on layers because it gets too hot. So the layers are either really minimal and really light. So it's always really exciting when autumn comes around and I get to like just play with all of the layers. I think it's one of the easiest ways that I get a little bit of style into my outfits, if that makes sense. So, shall we talk about the most obvious? And I know this has been a discussion on my channel a little bit recently. We talk about trench coats. Of course, I know everyone talks about a trench coat for an autumn essential. Hey ho, what can you do? I'm going to say it. I think it is a classic staple. I have a philosophy when it comes to outerwear where I like to start with something really basic, and when I have that covered, I get something that feels a little bit more of a style, and then I get something that feels like a statement. I know I've talked a lot about this trench coat I got this spring. This is also from Lily Silk. I love that this is so simple and plain. It goes with everything. This is definitely the most classic out of the ones I have. I really, really enjoy it for something that just is really minimal and really classic. When I don't really know where to start, if I go first with something that is classic and timeless and feels really easy to style in a way, and I've just put all the money into the high quality, I've never really regretted that. However, when it comes to outerwear, I love a bit of style. I love a little bit of drama and exaggeration. So, of course, I also have this really oversized one, and this is quite long as well, and I am fairly short, so it feels quite dramatic on me. But when I just want my outerwear to be hello, I'm drama, I love having something like this. I love outerwear that is it's still technically a classic. It's just a little bit more flair to it, if we can say that. Two very different moods, but I really love having both. But I just prefer to add things slowly so I can focus a little bit on the quality and not just the quantity of adding as many styles as possible. This is from And Other Stories, and this is something I bought, I want to say maybe 3 years ago now. I've had this for a really long time. The final piece is one that I have added recently, just this season, just this week really. And how amazing is this? So we're getting into sort of very statementy pieces for the outerwear. And I'm not saying that all of this is an essential at all, but I've had so much fun with my style when I have sort of slowly evolved as well. Again, the key is slowly, do not add everything at once. But I saw this trench coat, this is from Cezanne, and I'm going to do a little bit more of a review of it, not in this video though, but this is the Clyde trench coat and it's in this sort of khaki plaid. Gorgeous, and I am so excited to get a ton of wear out of this for autumn. I just think it is a stunning piece. So this one, like the Lily Silk one, you can see is single-breasted, so it's almost more like a car coat really. Again, not necessarily a trendy thing, but something that is a little bit more on the trendy side at the moment, these silhouettes and minimal styles. Another outerwear piece that is crucial for autumn in my wardrobe is a leather jacket. So I think any leather jacket is a wonderful option for autumn. It's great against the rain, it adds a little bit of edge. You have that cool leather texture, which I think works really well for the season. But this one has been in my wardrobe for almost 6 years now. Absolutely love it. It's from Zara, but it's in leather, and I have worn this a ton. I've even gotten rips in it, and it still kind of just works. And I think it is such a testament to how worth it is to buy high quality materials. I know Zara and high quality isn't necessarily something that we put in the same sentence, but you can definitely find higher and lower quality at any store really. But buying a leather jacket in actual real leather is giving you a much better chance at it lasting rather than if it's in faux leather, because it tends to just start peeling really quickly. But I also love playing around with different colors and different textures. So I bought this suede leather jacket from Massimo Dutti in the springtime, and this was definitely more expensive and I did not get it on sale. So it was more of an investment piece really, but knowing how much use I got out of the leather jacket, I felt like this is going to be a staple. I wore this all throughout spring, I wore it even for summer, and it's going to get its time in the sun now for autumn. I love the dark brown, which is quite a trendy color, but I'm hoping that it's not going to feel overly done when we're eventually moving on to the next. I think the color is beautiful for autumn anyways, and suede is just, oh, such a beautiful texture for fall. I think that is, although that is very much a trend, something that is a classic staple in my wardrobe for autumn anytime. It can just take any outfit and make it feel instantly like fall. So I feel like a suede leather jacket is something that had to happen. It's also so much nicer to wear, so I'm hoping I am going to get years worth of wear out of this one as I have with the other. The last sort of autumn layering piece, and I could technically, I think a wool coat goes into it, but honestly, it's still August. I am not ready to talk about wool coats yet. It is an essential. It's not one I have added this year. It's not one that I'm putting into my wardrobe at the moment. So the last sort of layer that I want to talk about for autumn is actually a cardigan, because I think cardigans are fantastic for extending even the wear of summer dresses, of all of our summer tops, just getting more cost per wear out of the pieces we have been wearing for the last few months, and it's a great way of transitioning those outfits. So these are my two most recent ones that I absolutely love. I have this one from Arquette, which is in cotton, so it's great for those days that still are a little bit warmer, because it's not overly warm, it's not too sort of cozy knit. It's a really, really cool knit. It's really densely knitted. The quality feels beautiful on it. I feel like it really reminds me of a cardigan from Kate, which is what, like 10, 12 times the price. And I just think it is really beautiful. I've worn it quite a few times already. It's holding up really well so far. And then I also have my striped cardigan. This is in merino wool. So as you can tell, I needed two knitwear categories. I've shown this in my sort of the mini capsule wardrobe I did, the 5 piece capsule wardrobe I did for a week. And this one was worn nearly every day. It's been worn so, so much. Such a versatile piece. Again, can wear it as a top, can wear it layered over dresses, over simple tops. I can wear it layered over my shoulders. They're just really great layering pieces for that in-between weather. We are moving into sort of the last section of this video. We're talking about full textures, if we can say that, the full seasoning almost. I have quite a few accessories that have really helped me have a much better style when I sort of updated them for autumn. And the first and possibly best update I did was a handbag that feels like fall. And for me, that meant something that was fairly simple in design, pretty minimal, but in a color that feels really warm, so brown. I have tan. I added this one this summer. Absolutely love this handbag. And when I got it, it was with the mind that I'm going to wear this into autumn as well, because it's a perfect color for it. And then of course, if you have been on my channel for any amount of time, you will have heard me gush about the Coach Brooklyn handbag. This is in the color maple. This dark brown, you can see it really goes with the dark suede I have. I have been considering adding this one in suede as well, because I think a suede texture handbag in a neutral color, just so perfect for autumn, and it's going to help you make all of those very basic seasonless outfits feel more like fall. The next accessory is even more obvious. A pair of boots. I bought these, I think, a year ago, maybe. Just a simple heel, fairly easy to walk in, again in a neutral shade. And then this is a recent purchase. I'll be happy to share more about what I think about these. They are a little bit more spendy. I got these just a couple days ago and I'm already kind of a little bit in love with them. A pair of boots is one of those things that just has the ability to turn even jeans or skirts or even a dress into something that feels more like fall. Just like the handbag, just like the darker denim, there are some of these key pieces that I think are just magic when it comes to transforming a wardrobe into fall. One more leather accessory, a leather belt, again I think in a fall color. I do love black accessories, but there is just something about a warmer tone, a warm brown, that just makes it feel a little bit more soft and autumnal. It's perfect for that season. We're not really in summer anymore, but we're also not quite in the darkest months of the year. So for me, adding a brown belt was one of the best things I did for my style. I know it sounds so silly because it's so incredibly simple, but I used to have the very silly mindset that if I just have all my accessories in black, they're all gonna match and I don't need to think about it. How boring. I have so much more fun with my outfits now that I have a couple belts in brown shades. And what you might have noticed as I went through all of these accessories, I have a dark brown and I have a tan for boots and for handbags. And I know some people might be a little bit, they might get a little bit aggressive when I say this, but I think that having brown accessories that match somewhat in the shade, I think is a huge help if you're also into more minimal outfits. And one of my favorite style tips is taking one color of the outfit and repeating it somewhere else in the outfit. Accessories is a really good way to do that. And I've had so many people disagree with me, but when I bought this Coach Brooklyn handbag right here, I felt a bit stumped because I didn't have boots in the shade, I didn't have any shoes in the shade, I didn't have belt in the shade. I felt a bit like I love this handbag, but it's a little tough to style. Once I added one or two more accessories, it all felt complete. So I'm not saying to buy all the shades possible, but for me, just being a little bit more considered. For example, I want to add this in a suede, but the suede is in a completely different brown shade. So I just have to sort of think, is that going to go with my other accessories? That's all I'm saying. Now, the last accessory I want to talk about is a scarf. I think a simple scarf, this is just a simple Burberry scarf. I've had this for many years. Another one of those investment pieces that you don't necessarily need this one. I think it's a bit recognizable. Sometimes I feel like some of my other are a little less in your face than the Burberry scarf, but it's a beautiful quality and I do really love it. And I just think that having something that is a little bit thinner, just a little easy to style, just throw on for a little bit of texture and vibe, if we can say that, I think is really helpful. Having something in a full shade, having something in a print. For me, it's just about having something between a really light shawl that I use for summer and the really big pashmina scarves that I wear for winter. I absolutely love this. I have one, and I think that is sort of enough at the moment. I've sort of not felt the need to overinvest in it, but I do really love the scarf that I do have. So we have one more piece and it's hanging here, very holding on for dear life on this hanger. I always say do not hang knitwear on a clothing hanger. I only do it for the videos, for the short little time it takes to film. But a knit dress, and this one is a few years old now. As you can see, this is a shorter version. I haven't taken all of them out of storage yet, otherwise I'd show you something that is like maxi length and in wool, which I think is just really nice and easy, versatile to style up or down for the office or just running errands even, a coffee date. They're really, really great pieces. I love wearing a dress because it's sort of like throwing on just accessories and you're ready when we finally get the weather for it. I do think a knit dress is just one of those really cute, cozy outfits for autumn. That is going to wrap up this video. I have been rambling for way longer than anyone should be allowed to. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear what your autumn essentials are in your wardrobe. I'm so in the fall mode at the moment and I'm absolutely enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to all of the fall content I'm going to make coming up. If you have any wishes or ideas, please leave them in a comment down below. I really appreciate it. As always, if you're not yet subscribed, I would really love it if you would consider doing so. And if not, thank you anyways for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and I'll see you very shortly in the next video. Bye!